Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And first off, I want to say thank you so much for 100 subscribers. Like, that's just mental. So in today's video, I want to talk about being an introvert and how that affects me day to day and how that has affected me within the care system. So like being in foster care and dealing with social workers and all that sort of jazz. So let's talk about, to start off with, sort of the words of introvert as such. So I've always been told that from probably like primary school age, so as young as about 5 or 6, probably maybe a little bit older, I reckon, because like I have really bad memory, but basically from like a very young child I was told that I was the quiet kid. So, you know, me and my sister are polar opposites, so she's very loud and like I joke about basically saying that, you know, you can hear her before you can see her. She's that type of person, whereas I'm a bit more like, you know, I'm loud when I get to know people, when I'm more comfortable with them. You know, like I am very chatty. I can be sort of quite loud-ish. You know, I kind of um I kind of quite keep myself to myself when I don't know people that well. And so I've always been labelled like the quiet kid. So like in school, I wouldn't say much. I wasn't very naughty. Well, I was a little bit in secondary school, but we'll get to that. So yeah, I was sort of like the quiet kid. So people would say, "Oh yeah, well she's just shy. She's just quiet," and that. Which, now looking back at it, that wasn't really the case. It was just I had nothing to say, so I kept my gob shut. Fast forward to secondary school, and I'm still quiet, but because I am quiet, I was compared to my sister, who is a year older than me, and she would, no, sorry, teachers would be like, "Oh, you're nothing like your sister," because basically I was very quiet. I kept myself to myself. If I knew the answer, I'd still keep my gob shut, because like I always felt, now, like thinking about this now, like it kind of sounds silly, but I was embarrassed to tell people the answer, because in case I got it wrong. Like, even if like I knew the answer and I knew it was right, I still wouldn't put my hand up. I still wouldn't volunteer for shit, because I'm like, what if I fuck it up? You know, that was my mentality. It was just, I don't want to be embarrassed. Like, I get embarrassed. Oh well, I used to. I don't get embarrassed as much anymore, but like I would get embarrassed for like just stating my opinion on something, or um you know, I'd get embarrassed about just asking a question, just being up at the front of the class, just any chance that the attention was on me. I'm just like, nope, not having it, nope. Any way that I could get out of it, I would. So secondary school um, was a little different to primary school, because yes, I was still quiet, but then because I was getting compared to my sister a lot, I would put on an act, especially in front of like my friends and that. So um, anyone that was getting picked on or whatever, even though I was getting picked on myself, I would put on this hard act of like, you know, it's like they're saying, like, you know, you're all talk and no action. That was me, basically. Like, I'd be like, I'll fucking knock you out. I'd do this, I'd do that. When in truth, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably kick you. That's probably as far as it's gonna go. I'd probably kick you in the leg. That's about it. That's as far as my violence is concerned. But I will stick. I will genuinely, wholeheartedly stick up for my friends and support them as much as I can. Now, saying that, I never really had many friends, to be honest, because of the care system and that, because of like being in foster care and having, I don't know how many different social workers and that. I felt like I personally think being in foster care and being involved in social services for so long, so from being under a care order from 6 to 18 made me even more quieter in that case, because I always had that mentality of, oh well, if I say this and this, if I tell people that I'm getting picked on, if I tell people that I'm scared of growing up, if I tell people what's on my mind or whatever, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, you know. It was a lot of, I'd done a lot of overthinking when I was younger, and I still do today. Like, I overthink shit a lot. And I know I shouldn't because it's daft, but I do. And I honestly think it wasn't until I was 18, I think, about 17, 18, when Guinness PCC closed, which was basically like, it was a basically like a second home for me, to be honest. It wasn't until that place closed where I felt comfortable enough to speak to somebody about it, because I was so upset about it, because like, that was my comfort blanket. Like, that place had been my home for years. Well, my second home, I would go there after school every Wednesday. There was different opportunities that we could do. There was all sorts, and it closed because I can't remember the reason now. But it closed for some reason, and I was pissed off, because I'm like, well, what am I gonna do now? Like, that those staff were like family to me. Like, I had the manager, like, I got on with her, like, I'd been going there since I was a little kid. You know, all the staff knew us, especially like the regular staff, anyways, that had been there for quite a while. So the manager, my advocate, some of the other staff that I'd known, and that was pretty close to. They would see me grow from like a little kid to 18, so basically like a, you know, not so much a grown woman, because you're still a teenager really, but in the eyes of the law you're an adult. But yeah, to like, that was my home. You know, I kind of, I almost, like, I kind of came out of my shell a little bit there, but I feel like it wasn't until I was older to where, like, I really became more, not so much out of my shell, because I am still very much an introvert, because, like, I hate big groups, I hate having attention on me, you know. Any time that I can divert the attention from myself, I will, because I hate it otherwise. And I feel like with social services, it's always like, oh, let's celebrate your achievements, let's do this, let's do that, let's put the spotlight on you. I'm like, nope, leave me alone, get the fuck away from me, and leave me the fuck alone. I do not want any of that. I don't want any of that. But it was the way it was. So they'd have like award events. They would do. I would be pulled out of my lessons because they wanted to, talk about how things are going, how I'm getting on in school, how's things at home, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, yeah, they're fine. Because up here, I'm like, yeah, this is happening. Mum's having seizures, more and more seizures. She keeps falling over, this and this. I don't like school. I don't understand maths. I'm not really doing great in English. I'm not doing really great in this lesson. I really like this lesson and all that. And like, I don't want to tell them because like, they don't need to know. And that was what it was. It was just, I don't want to talk to people because, one, I didn't trust them, and two, I never felt comfortable enough. And then when I was like 18-ish, like, it wasn't that I gained more confidence, it was just I honestly felt more comfortable with my PA, because like, she wasn't like anyone else. um you know, it was almost like she understood me. She understood that I was nothing like my sister. She understood that I was not, look, this is what I liked. It was the fact that she didn't say that I was shy. She didn't put any labels on me. It was just, you're you, that's it, you know. And that's who I am. Like she kind of she I felt like she got that. I've never really had a big group of friends, but now being on TikTok and stuff like that, I do. And sometimes, like, I don't know, sometimes like it gets overwhelming at how many people that genuinely, even though they are over the other side of the world, like genuinely care about me. And even people just like in my day to day life, my old PA, people that I've done youth service with, just all different people that genuinely care about me, that, you know, that want to know me, and that, like, to a certain people, like, I can open up to them, but it takes me a while, because I feel like just because I'm such an introvert, I'm just like, I don't want to burden people with all this shit. Like, this is my shit. Like, tell me what's going on with you and let me help you in any way I can. But as far as what's going on with me, you don't need to know. I am completely fine. Everything's hunky dory, you know, and that's it. I can deal with it myself. Like, I feel like because I never felt that sort of I don't know. I don't feel like, I don't know whether it's to do with the fact that I am an introvert, or whether it's just to do with the way I dealt with things when I was younger. So I've kind of almost, I can't think of the pissing word, but um I've kind of almost sort of like let it carry on into my adult life. So like I would be like, yeah, well, this is stressing me out. This is doing my not in. Like, I feel like I can say what I want to say, but then when I come to confront people about it, it's just like, maybe not. Because I don't want that confrontation. And I don't know whether that's just to do with being an introvert, whether that's just because I hate confrontation, whether it's just, I just don't want to fucking bother with that shit. I just don't want drama in my life. Excuse me. And that's who I am. Like, I am a person that keeps myself to myself because, frankly, I want to. And because of the care system and that, like, no fucker wants to blast the whole universe that they've been in foster care. Like, especially when you're in secondary school. You know, you're already getting picked on for like not wearing the latest shoes, not having your hair a certain way, not looking a certain way, you know, not listening to the same sort of music as everyone else is doing. So I was already getting picked on as it is. Them finding out that was in foster care and having different social workers and that was not one of the things I wanted them to know. And so I kept myself to myself. Like, yes, there was a group of people that I was kind of friends with in school, but not really. Like, I felt like, I don't know, I always felt like very much on my toes, and that's how I like things. Like, you know, people are just like, oh, don't you mind doing, like, you know, like, people obviously know that I look after my mum and all that sort of stuff, and people are like, well, don't you want to do things for yourself? Don't you feel like, you know, you need to go out and blah blah blah? I'm like, no, I am very much a home bird. I don't care about going out. I don't care about being an adult doing this and all that sort of stuff. I'm like, I don't care about that sort of stuff. As long as I can take care of my mum, as long as she's happy and healthy and all that sort of jazz, I'm fine. You know, I have got my small group of people that I can reach out to if I need to. And frankly, I should, like, I feel like I should do that more often, but I don't. And I feel like that's just because, I don't know, I feel like it sounds stupid saying it out loud, but like, I don't want to bother them. Like, this is my shit, you know? Like, I'm always kind of like, I don't want to bother them. You know, I don't want to be a pest, I don't want to be a burden or anything like that. You know, yeah, there's probably shit going on up here, but they don't need to know about it, because at the end of the day, I want to deal with it myself. As long as I can deal with there, start again. As long as I can deal with it myself, I will. But if I can't, then I will reach out to them. But it will be like the last case scenario that I will reach out to them. And it's stupid to think that, because, you know, there are people that do care about me, like I said, like my old PA. I say it like, you know, I know she cares about me. She still does, which is mad to think because I haven't seen her since I was 20, I think. Yeah, I was 20, I was just turning 21, you know. But we've built up that relationship where I guess it kind of, I don't know, it's weird to think that like I'm no longer one of her young people, but we still have that relationship, like, you know. I don't know, I guess it's just because like we kind of got on and we have like similar taste in music, and like she says she introduced me to like certain music and all that, but we all know that's a load of bull. She's just chatting waffle. But she's one of the people that helped me the most, you know. And it's just, I don't know. I feel like whether I am an introvert or whether it's just I am shy, I am quiet. Yes, I am quiet to a certain extent, you know. I don't know. And like, I don't know, I don't feel like this whole sort of like, oh, she's quiet, she's shy, and all that. It's like, yeah, I probably was shy when I was little. Who isn't though? But I don't know. I just felt like I either was an introvert, and then that sort of escalated because I was in the care system and didn't want to share anything because there was always that fear in the back of my mind of, oh shit, if I say this, if I say the wrong thing, you know, I'm gonna go back into foster care, or, you know, what would I do without my mum? So it's just a lot of, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff that played on my mind growing up, you know, and I feel like I I don't know, I just felt like maybe I shouldn't have dealt with it myself. You know, maybe I should have reached out to people, but I didn't know how to. And I still don't know how to do it today. Like, that's something I have to work on myself. And like I feel like, as bad as it sounds, like I don't want to reach out to people because like they've got their own stuff to deal with. They don't need mine on top of theirs. Like, I'll just sort it out myself, you know. Yes, it may take a while or whatever, but at the end of the day, like, that's what I think. Like, I don't want to bother them in my problems because they're mine. Like, I will help them with their shit. Like, you know, like a lot of people say to me that I'm always there for people and all that, and then, you know, they always feel like it's one sided than that because I never share anything with them, and it's just because, one, I don't know how to because I always feel embarrassed and feel stupid for doing it, and two, I feel like I shouldn't have to because it's my problems and that's my issues, and I should be able to deal with it myself and keep it to myself because, like, what can, like, my, so this is um how I think of things. It's just, it's my shit, I'm dealing with it, and I'll deal with it myself, and I don't want to have to bother other people with it, as bad as that sounds, because I feel like, I don't know why I think this, to be honest, but this is just who I am. In all honesty, this is just me. It's just, I don't want to bother people with my problems, even though people will be like, oh, you're being silly, blah blah blah, blah. I don't care. This is my issue. I will deal with it myself, and maybe things need to change within the social services. I don't know. I feel like things are changing, and I feel like maybe kids are who are like me can open up to people nowadays. I bloody hope so. But if not, then fuck knows, man. But I genuinely never felt like I could open up to people, and I still don't know how to do that now as an adult at 28 years old, which is stupid. But that's me. in a nutshell, to be honest. And I feel like some of my experiences and stuff maybe wasn't right to sort of deal with it myself and keep stuff to myself and keep, just keep quiet and that. Maybe if I did, playing it back, like, maybe if I did different scenarios differently, maybe things would be different, but I don't know. But all in all I can say is that I'm trying to sort of work things out. I'm trying to be more open with people and that, but it's never easy because, like, you get used to doing something for so long, it becomes like second nature. And then when you try and change things, it's dodgy, basically. And that's sort of I guess, being an introvert is all about. Or whatever. I ain't got a clue. But that's that. Let me know in the comments down below whether you are an introvert or whether you're an extrovert or whether you relate to whatever I've said. And give me some suggestions on what sort of videos I should do next. Okay, bye guys.